These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, March 8th, day after the Celtics lost to the Nuggets. Before we get into everything, I'll say it at the start. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We're dropping content for you guys every day. Almost always, or always one video a day. Usually 2 videos a day now at this point. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, you're going to get 2 videos. We're pumping it out. But 5 a.m. every single day, there will be content on this channel. You bet your ass. So we are here. Subscribe, like the video. We appreciate it. But we're talking about why the Celtics aren't dead yet. Celtics lost the Nuggets. They've lost 2 in a row. The sky is falling. Everyone's panicking. And people around the internet are letting it be known their feelings about the Celtics. We can start with this one. We didn't even talk about this one. Noah Dalzell, Celtics blog, tweeted out this thumbnail from YouTube today. Tatum came up small. Impact on the Celtics playoff
Boston
hope.
still have playoff hope.
Insane. Playoff hope. Celtics lose to the Nuggets, and I mean, Sam and I will be the first to tell you there were some concerning things in that game. Obviously, it's a game you want to win. The Celtics played bad. It's not that they didn't play good, but the same thing that we said after the Cavs game reigns true. It's March 8th. Like, there's still a month to the playoffs. There's still time for Celtics to iron out these issues. They still have an entire playoff run before they even potentially play the Nuggets in the finals. So, a lot of time. We go through here. This is YouTube. I mean, we should have known the Celtics were going to lose when Chuck said, I would be shocked if they don't win the finals before the game. Bum. Thanks, Chuck. Sick. Tatum broke Stephen A's heart, apparently. What else we got? Bunch of stuff. Celtics versus Nuggets for best team, et cetera, et cetera. JJ Redick talked about it. Nikola Jokic had some praise. Tatum is under duress. Just a lot of stuff being said about the Celtics. Matt Moore of Action Network on Twitter, very vocal about, I was told this is just little things, problems.
According to him.
KD talking praise for the Celtics, but a lot of Celtics are dead. A lot of the Celtics, not necessarily maybe to that extreme, but a lot of fans very upset, very mad.
In the YouTube comments today.
Yeah.
Tatum can't play in the big games, somebody said.
I saw.
Which is just remarkable to me. I can completely agree with you if you're like, hey, I don't like when Tatum has the ball with the game on the line. Fine. You can say that. I don't think that's outrageous to say. But don't be like Tatum doesn't show up in big games. He absolutely does. And he's proven that he does throughout his career. Last year, most points in a Game 7 ever. Celtics are on the death's door against the 76ers in Game 6. He comes back from the dead. And I guess you could be like, well, what did he do for 3 quarters? Well, he stepped up when the moment was the biggest. And he had all the points in the 4th quarter. Then, Game 6 in Milwaukee. Unbelievably good. There are numerous examples of him just being the guy. He stepped up as a rookie in all the big games in the playoffs to try and help them get to the finals when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were hurt. He's stepped up into the moment his whole career. Yeah, they lost a Thursday game in March in Denver. And they blew a lead to the Cavs this week. Has it been fun to watch them this week? Not really. It's been shitty. I thought yesterday was a game they had no control over. And I think that's the overwhelming reason why people are not loving what they saw. If you're a fan of this team and you watch the game in Denver, you're probably like, how the hell am I supposed to believe in this team when the finals roll around? If they get there, we just saw them get manhandled. Everything that the Celtics got in Denver was tough. And Denver has Jokic on their team who makes everything easy. So, of course, watching that game wasn't a pleasant experience. But if you watch them play against, I don't know, go look at the Miami games. They dominated Miami for a lot of the regular season this year. The majority of all 3 of those games, they have been in complete control. The exception being the opening quarter of the home opener in October. They didn't look the greatest. Bam had his way down low. They blew the doors off them. Milwaukee, they've split the series, getting the doors blown off them in Milwaukee, but also completely controlling the game in Boston until they were like, maybe the game's over, and they almost came back and lost. They've beat up on Philly without Embiid. Let's see, who else? Cleveland, they beat back-to-back games back in December. Should have won the 3rd game the other day, but they just choked it away.
Yep.
And Cleveland was the hottest I've ever seen a team be.
And for what it's worth, the Nuggets are the 2nd team this year to beat the Celtics twice. The only team outside of the Pacers to beat the Celtics twice.
Pacers, yeah. I mean, not the greatest stat. Celtics 1-6 versus above. What is it? 600 teams
above
since the new
600
year?
teams since January 1st. Yeah, which again, like you said, not
Dick
great.
Light, basalt.
I know that's tough from Dick Light, but I don't know. They're not like saying the Celtics are dead when they're what 43-15 now. Like it's just not true. I said 43-15, 48-15. Let me respect them a little bit. I'm gonna put on some clips of the Celtics offense in the Nuggets game just so we can look at some of the shots they got, evaluate it while we talk. We don't have to break down every clip, but just like to have it on the screen because for what it's worth, like as much as the Celtics didn't have the best offensive night, I also do think there is a level of like they did also just miss some open threes. Like there is an equal amount. And this isn't me saying the Nuggets didn't earn the win. The Celtics should have won the game. The Nuggets absolutely earned the win. They played better than the Celtics. But both teams had things that they can be better on and will be better on. The Nuggets missed a lot of their threes, right? We had a guy in the comments point out like Jamal Murray didn't have the best night. He didn't. You're right. But at the same time, like I can't imagine, the Celtics will shoot 28% from three every single game in a series, right? Like knock on wood, but that's just not how variation works. And so I think there's equal part Celtics can be better and Nuggets can be better. And when you're talking about both teams have room to grow in a game that ultimately was decided by an wide open Jason Tatum corner three to potentially put them up with 45 seconds left, like saying they're completely dead is just like, it's not true. Like they can't be the case. They had a shot in the air, an open corner three that Tatum has taken that shot in practice hundreds of thousands of times, practices that every day, is money from the corner this year, even though he doesn't take a lot, had that shot in the air with a chance to go ahead in this game with 45 seconds left. And they just missed. So like saying they're dead is like, what? And we're watching the game here. Celtics are hustling. Celtics came out of this game looking good, right? They were up a little bit. Jaylen Brown was cooking. He was getting what he wanted.
Jalen's intensity out of the gate was unbelievable. And it really felt like, oh, wow, like everybody's going to follow suit, and they just kind of didn't. Like, you didn't get a whole lot of intensity from the rest of the team until it was too late. But Jalen individually had an incredible game yesterday. The way he forced the issue was super impressive with Denver not really paying attention to him and was like, okay, like, Tatum, you go ahead, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of, like, built on what the Warriors did, but did it in a less egregious way. They were like, everything, cut off Tatum. Brown can do whatever. And it worked for them. But when you play, if you're the Celtics, this isn't the end of the world. They only lose so many games. So the people that are spreading it right now, and they're like, listen, this team doesn't have it. Look what happened, in Denver against Cleveland. Like, you only have so many losses. You got to empty the clip. It is unbelievable how when the Celtics lose games, it just is amplified.
Mm-hmm. The Celtics also, for what it's worth, RJ made a great point. I saw it on Twitter. The last, I want to find the exact numbers because I thought this was really insightful and a good calculation by him. So shout out RJ. He said, why did the Celtics lose? Nuggets outscored them 22-6 combined in the last minute of each quarter. So the last like the minute end of those, they scored them 22-6. Outside of that, the other 44 minutes, Celtics won 103-93. Like it came down to closing quarters, and in those spots, to put it simply, Nikola Jokic is just better than the Celtics are. They are he is just better than they are at staying calm and controlling the offense in those moments. And that's not an indictment on the Celtics. It's also not to say the Celtics can't improve. They obviously can, but like he's the best fucking player in the world for a reason. Like he is phenomenal in those spots. And that is why I feel like a lot of people would pick the Nuggets in a series. And fair, sure. Like I get it. Like when you have that controlling factor, it makes a ton of sense. But like we're watching these offensive clips, and I don't think the shots the Celtics are getting are bad. It's just the last few minutes of the quarter. Like you saw the score just jumped. The Nuggets got good shots and the Celtics missed theirs. And even when the Celtics are playing better, like doesn't matter. Like this was a nice little play. Get it Tillman on the block, have him post up. He played. He got the big body right there. But it came down to closing quarters, and the Nuggets did a better job because they are better in that spot than the Celtics are.
Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's a tournament season or the fight for a playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Prize Picks is really simple to play, and I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Also, like that's a good shot. Tillman just missed it. Like that was really like wide open three. Like watching these clips, I don't think the Celtics offense was great. And I think another thing I've seen in a lot of places, whether it be Zach Lowe's podcast or just in our comments, like I think both these teams played pretty relatively solid defensive games. Like the Nuggets, Zach Lowe was talking about, he said the Celtics offense was below average in terms of rating. Like, yeah, they missed a lot of shots and the Nuggets played good defense, but the Nuggets had a pretty average offensive night, which that sounds like, oh, well, if it's average, it's fine. Like, this is the best offensive player in the world, holding them to an average night, holding Jokic to, I say, quote unquote, holding Jokic as he had a 30-point triple double, but like, there's only so much you can do for this guy. And so I don't think the Celtics played as bad as all the narratives are going to be. They played bad. Don't get me wrong. They weren't good. They missed their free throws. They had miscommunications on defense. And offensively, it just felt like they got too scrambled. I don't know if scrambled is the right word. Rush. Like they just felt a little bit off offensively the whole night, which is like all of those things I wrote about today for Celtics blog. Compounding mistakes will not win you games against the Nuggets. They make the climb insurmountable. And that's what we saw. But I don't think it was quite as bad as the general consensus in public media will say. However, certainly not dead. Just not even close to dead.
No, and we're all scarred. We all have this, even you, where it's like, do I really fully trust these guys? Do I think they can get over the hump this year? Are they going to win the big games? Are they going to show up in the clutch moments in the playoffs? And when you see something like this, you see Tuesday, those are big time amplifiers to that like side of your brain. But the fact of the matter is the Celtics have been much better at the end of games this year. It just is a fact. They're like all their clutch metrics are in the top 10, I believe. The problem is in clutch moments, their go-to is the isolation, which they're like 27th in. JJ Redick had the post about it. He had all the stats there. And it was a fantastic explanation of why, when you watch this team, it doesn't feel like you can trust them because they're going to some sort of game plan that does not work.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we can watch the last, I think we don't have to just watch all of the clips, but like the last 3 minutes of shots for the Celtics in this game where they had a chance, like, I feel like they got good looks, like maybe even want Holiday to take that, but if he's going to just drive to the hoop and get past Jokic when he's tired, like that's a bucket. Celtics within 7. Derek White driving down the floor. Porzingis drives past Jokic, shoots it over him, nails the midi. Tough shot, but it's not like they wanted a run at the end of this game. They wanted a big run. Tough trip.
Is that another clutch Zingis example?
Well, bad timing for you as he missed the 3, but like
maybe that's the only spot I don't want him taking threes from in the clutch. He does not make them from there. Everywhere else, they're going in.
Drew Holiday was sick in this game, by the way. He was so clutch at the end. He had a pretty relatively rough, I guess, first half, as did the rest of the team, but he came up super big for them when it mattered. Like this 3 was gross. That's just like
that was the I've seen enough.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is.
And then Tatum, like this, like if this shots goes in, we're having the narrative today is, oh my God, the Nuggets choked. Jokic let his emotions get in the way because he had that technical foul that allowed the Celtics to get back in the game. Like those are the conversations today instead of wow, the Celtics.
Oh my God, the Celtics outscored Jokic and the boys in the last 4 minutes. Like they still did. They cut to this point from 4.5 minutes to 45 seconds left in the game. The Celtics cut the game down to 2 points after being down 11 against this team. Denver, who had dissected them the entire game, and they managed to outscore them by 9 points in the clutch. Not bad. Then the free throws evened everything out, and it didn't go, they lost by 6.
And even here, like, Murray gets a hand in his face, but like, how many times have we seen Derek White hit this exact shot this season? Like, so many times. It's just think sometimes like they say, it's a make or miss league, and the Celtics missed more than the Nuggets did.
As far as the late game stuff goes, I don't know what the solution necessarily is. I would like to see more actual designed offense.
Mhm.
But a lot of the times you can come on here and be like, yeah, like that was a decent shot and it could have went in. But you probably, to satisfy the two of us, would have to be like, listen, we have to have looks that we feel are easy every single time. And that I
Mhm.
want to see more of that. I don't want it every single possession. But it doesn't feel like the Celtics get a ton of easy looks in these spots. And it's a reason why people can't trust them.
Mhm. And for what it's worth, on top of that, like this was the foul where Jokic was mad, which rightfully so. He got hit hard. Like I understand why he was mad. I also think the Celtics did a very good job of defending the Nuggets in crunch time. Like outside of the sorry for the volume. Outside of the Tatum missed box outs were a huge problem because they just let them in the game. Like their first shot defense was great. The Nuggets made 2 shots of their 7 in the last 3:30 of the game. Like against this Nuggets
Pretty
offense,
good.
that's huge.
And for what
And
it's
this
worth, the
isn't
first
even
matchup, they got all the stops too.
I know, and for what it's worth, this I just copied your phrasing. This isn't even including like the turnover. Brown played great defense in this game. Noah pointed that out on Twitter too. But like, they forced these guys into some tough looks. Like that's not an easy jumper. And credit to Jaylen Brown for getting that board over Nikola Jokic there, and then they run in transition. This is Porzingis 1-on-1. Drew Holiday shows help. Like they're lucky KCP missed that because he'll make that shot, but like Drew Holiday did a good job of getting back out on him, and that's what you have to do against a guy like Jokic because he's just going to dominate the paint. This is one where Tatum needed to box out, but the first shot defense, like they make the shot tough on Jokic, and then Aaron Gordon does what was one of the sickest in-game dunks I've ever seen in my life, and we're gonna have to see it again here because there's technically 2 shots, but like. Porzingis is right there. That dunk was insane. I don't care. I know you don't like it, but DeAndre Jordan. Like good first shot defense again by the Celtics. They just let go of the rope on rebound. Credit Jaylen Brown. He's up
Getting
on
Jokic to miss in the paint is pretty impressive.
Jokic is so big, dude. This isn't a foul, is what I'm saying. It's just like he is a massive human. Like it's like Jaylen Brown is strong as shit. It takes a lot to knock that guy down. Jokic is fucking huge. And this is an example of what the Nuggets guy was saying. Like Murray missed a clutch shot. Like that's a shot he makes.
Yep.
Porzingis in the paint again. Like
Tough.
once he gets his back to the basket within like 5 feet, you're cooked. Like you're done. Within 10 feet, even you're done. Like that. This was phenomenal defense on Jokic. They played this so well. Tatum just like they just didn't get to a body on Gordon in time. Like look at this. Porzingis doing his best. Drew Holiday helps over. Jaylen Brown helps over. There is one missing link to this play, and it's you got to get a body on Gordon, and they didn't do it, and that was enough. Like they're all over Jokic, all over him.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's just
Aaron Gordon was far too involved in the Celtics' demise yesterday, in my opinion.
I agree. It's because they didn't get bodies on him. And credit Aaron Gordon, he's a great player. He's the perfect pair with Jokic. But to say they're dead, excuse me, it is simply a product of looking at the results and not the process. And I know at some point the results have to come in.
They have come in.
Yeah, they've come in a lot during the season. I don't know. Anything else that we missed that you wanted to go over?
No, I mean big get right spot against Phoenix tomorrow, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
Phoenix who just beat the Nuggets.
Yeah.
So get some get back. But let us know your thoughts. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be mad at us doing a "They're Not Dead Yet" video, but
they're not. Everyone's acting like they're dead. They're absolutely not dead.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Also, for what it's worth, those people saying the Celtics can't win without the 3, also bogus. They've done it before this season.
Well,
I just think
they're a lot better when they go in.
Yeah, I think most
for anybody.
I think most teams are. I do think the Celtics need to be better at going to the things that get them open shots in the 15-foot range more often, if anything. But I don't think they're incapable of winning without the 3. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe, like the video. We'd appreciate it. I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We'll be here later today as you're hearing this for pregame at 8 p.m. Suns game, primetime tip, 8:30. Until then, You can check out the rest of our channel. We have game recaps after every single game. We have Talkin' C's live with Bobby Kravitsky Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the full pods come out Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple for the full pods and game recaps. Leave us a follow and leave a 5-star review. We would appreciate it. If you have something you would like to say for tomorrow's pod, hbtcpod@gmail.com is the way to reach us. If you send an email, it'll probably get read on the show because we are recording at some point on Saturday. So there's a chance. Get in. You can also find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the pod. You can find our streams there and on YouTube and also on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack's Fun NBA. Mine's at Sam.
Taco's having some fun here.